I am Anthony Token Squid Price with episode number 3 of season number 2 of the I Am Damaged podcast. This is a presentation of ToMack Entertainment, and any proceeds which occur as a result of this podcast, well, those proceeds will go to the Gold Star Ride Foundation, a 501c3 charity organization that helps the families of fallen veterans. Again, what we're doing with this podcast is reading my personal journals, and at the end of that, we will read through all of the court documents that are stored in these plastic tubs here. And as I have said before, if what happened to me were to be made into a movie and you watched that movie, you'd walk out of the movie theater saying, that could never happen in real life. I'm here to tell you that it can, it does, and it will again. I'm sorry it's so long since the last episode, but there's an awful lot of stress that goes into the creation of these things because I have to relive all of everything that's written in them. I have to relive it in order to read it. Today we are going to start at December 2nd, 2009. December 2nd happens to be my father's birthday. I don't talk about my father in the journals, I don't think, but it happens to be his birthday. And we begin December 2nd, 2009, Wednesday at Karate. The last few days have been a challenge. A customer asked for 2 computers and a network installed, so I've been scrambling to get them built. December 3rd, 2009, Thursday, picking up Luke at school. Yesterday, the phone rang and I didn't get to write anymore. Luke and I went home, had dinner, and I went to bed at about 7:15. Tekla got up and traded beds with Anna at about 3:15 a.m. I was in and out of sleep until 6:15 when the alarm rang. I snoozed it until 6:50, then got up. Anna had Luke almost ready for school, so I took him. Then I went to Red Wing for the chiropractor. I dropped a laptop off in St. Paul, and I stopped to fix Roger's computer. Now here I am. This last weekend was long. Anna went to work on Sunday, and so did I. When the kids went to sleep, I started fixing computers. Worked until 3 a.m., then got up at 6:15 on Monday, and I worked with Tekla at home all day. And after kids went to bed, and I worked until 2 a.m., up at 6:15 on Tuesday as well. Tuesday night, Anna came home, but she was upset because some guy in Italy killed a dog. I tried to stay up with her since it's our time, but she was too tired, and so was I. I hit the bed about midnight. Sunday was interesting because Anna was done with her period, so we talked about sex all day. Right before she went to work, we locked the door of our bedroom and with the kids watching TV downstairs. I came in 3 strokes. She did in 4. It was pretty cool. It's enjoyable to be in love with her. December 5th, Saturday, 10:25 a.m. at Karate. Luke got all his pads today, so he's learning the fine art of sparring. It's very exciting to get the gear. We enjoyed opening all the packages and learning how to put the pads on. Our morning started fine with 2.5 hours to prepare, but we had a problem getting dressed. He said he could dress and watch TV at the same time, and I let it go until 4 minutes to karate. Then I let him know I was angry. Then I had to deal with a 7-year-old crying baby. Yesterday, Anna came home feeling weird, so weird she called me for a ride home. I asked her to give me some time to get the kids ready. When I called her back 30 minutes later, she was already on her way. When she got home, she was in a rage, complaining about Luke playing outside with his friends in the dark, even though it was only 5 p.m. She continued yelling about everything in her path for about 10 minutes until I stopped her and I said, I'm having a bad day too, but I'm not taking it out on everyone in the house. She got quiet and then got better until bedtime. I put the kids to bed. Tekla had fallen asleep on my lap, so I carried her up and tucked in Luke. Anna kissed them goodnight and went to bed. I stayed up to fold clothes and fix this computer I've been working on for 6 days. Tekla came back down in about an hour, so we rocked her to sleep in about 10 minutes. I stayed up until about 3 trying to fix this computer, then I fell asleep in my chair. On Wednesday last week, December 2nd, I think, we met with Tekla's teachers, who basically said her intelligence was in the 55 to 60% of all kids her age. They also said she would have special education her whole life. It was no big deal to either one of us, but they talked to us like it was a big deal. December 9th, 2009, Wednesday, 6:15 a.m. The last few days are a blur thanks mostly to a migraine that lasted 2 days. Yesterday was almost totally in bed. I got up to pee once and sit with Tekla while she slept, and Anna was gone to get Luke. The migraine moved to a bad headache about bedtime for the kids, so I tucked them in and said their prayers. I laid with Tekla a bit. Then she moved to my bed while I was eating for the first time about 9 o'clock at night. I let her lay with me about 20 minutes, then we rocked a bit. She fell asleep on the chair in 2 songs. Then Anna came to bed and started talking to me about some guy who texted her a half-naked picture of himself. Then she went to sleep, and I watched Scrooged. Anna went to work on Sunday, so I took the kids myself to Mass at OLG, Our Lady of Grace. Typical Sunday. Monday was typical for school. I got the kids to school, and then Anna came home. I worked on computers in the basement all day, adding the server to my list of things to do down there. Then Anna picked up the kids. With all the PC work, I didn't do much to clean the house. By dinner time, I came up to find Anna sort of grumpy. After dinner, she told me it would be okay for me to stay home with the kids over Christmas. I ignored this. Then she repeated the idea. I told her that it didn't work out so well last time, since she came home early and didn't enjoy herself while she was gone. Then she started yelling at me about how it was all my fault, how I burned the passports. And she kept going when I stood up and said, "Why are you bringing up this crap 2 years later?" And I walked away. I had a headache then, but it wasn't a migraine yet. I stayed downstairs, and Tekla came down with me. I heard Luke going to bed on the monitor, and I took Tekla up too. With the kids in bed, I fixed my nightly bowl of fiber, and Tekla came back down. Anna decided to go to the store after bedtime, and while she was gone, Tekla came downstairs. I was rocking with her when Anna came back home. She sat down with her laptop and wanted the lights on. I asked her for 10 minutes to let Tekla sleep. She waited 3, then went to bed. I was still unsure about her, so I slept in my chair. The headache stayed with me all through the night and made it to a migraine status by morning. Yesterday in bed was a very interesting day. The pain was different than it has been before. I actually felt pain in every pore on my face. My eyebrows felt like they were on fire. My eyeballs were throbbing. On 2 occasions, I actually cried from the pain. My prayers were weird then. I prayed saying, "I don't have the strength. I want it to go away." I prayed that Anna would see me in tears so she would know how much pain I had. But I asked for strength not to actually tell her. I loved it when the kids came in to watch TV or play video games, but I hated it when they needed my attention. Tekla was more than Luke. Luke is almost completely self-sufficient. Tekla still needs help with so many things, and it's when she doesn't ask for help when the trouble starts. She found some ice cream. I told her no, but she didn't put it down until I got up and she had covered herself with ice cream. When I spoke to her or to anyone, the effort increased the pain and the nausea that I'm certain was merely a side effect from the pain. This morning I'm up early and alone, which I like, but the snowstorm outside has called off nearly every school in the Twin Cities. I won't be alone long. Headache is still there. Right now I'm going to take a hot shower and see what that does for me. Stefan called last night with car trouble, so I'm planning to help him right after rush hour. So much to do. December 13th, 2009, Sunday, 12:30, lunchtime. Today is the last day of Tekla's 5th year. I have a cake to make, but I need to go out and get some snacks for her school tomorrow. Anna left for work yesterday morning and won't be back until sometime tomorrow. Anna has been in a weird, angry mood for quite a spell now. Perhaps it's her nervousness about the upcoming trip to Italy for Christmas, or perhaps her good moods are just very short. I enjoyed spending Thursday helping Stefan fix his car. Of course, this was blended with driving the kids to school, finding the parts, picking the kids up at school, karate, etc., etc. I finally brought Luke home at about 6 and left to go help with Steph install the new used starter. After getting the job done, it was clear he could not have done it without me. I finished, it works, and I was home by 7:30 to put the kids to bed. I finally took Anna and Tekla to the chiropractor in Red Wing. We stopped at Walmart in Hastings. I dropped off Anna and went to see a customer who needed a print cartridge, and the pawn shop where I picked up a cool sword for Stefan's Christmas gift. I'm sure he will like that. I spoke with Devin on the phone recently, maybe Thursday night, and came to the conclusion that he should have Anna's old laptop. Another customer showed up and created a $200 bill, so I have 2/3 of her required $300. But I'm down to 5 days to raise a shitload of money. Not sure where I should go next. So much to do, so little time. I spoke at length with Trace L. from high school about helping me produce a movie and audio CD. Still waiting for him to get back to me. Nap time. December 16th, 2009, Wednesday, 7:05 p.m. Wednesday night. To say the last couple days have been weird comes quite short of what's in my memory. I've been so busy and so frustrated that I'm quite at my wit's end. Anna is under so much self-induced stress that she is quite intolerable. Granted, I could tolerate her if I didn't have so much of my own stress. Our plans have us leaving for Italy on Saturday. I told Anna I would sell my truck if I didn't have the money. But today, my truck is dead, and I couldn't sell it if I wanted to. Meanwhile, she is nuts about everything that she can't get done, from the dog's papers to the chiropractic care. She can't talk to anyone about anything without yelling at them. Poor Luke is receiving much of it. I intervene when I can, but I'm not always nearby. Tekla had a great birthday on Monday. She took organic cookies to school and enjoyed handing them out all day. We, me and Tekla, went to see Rosemary G., who called for help. She gave me $100, which helped out a lot, but I have a long way to go. We came home in time to get Luke at school and then back to the house. Anna came home from her 3-day trip about 3 o'clock or so. I came downstairs and started listing things on eBay. As of now, I'm up to about 200 that has been paid and packaged. I took Luke to karate at 5, and Anna called to say, buy a cake, which I did. The birthday party continued. Monday morning, this was bad. We had to come home from Mass at 7, stopped at the airport post office to drop off a package for Anna. It didn't matter. She was pissed that it didn't go out on Saturday. Then we stopped at Cub Foods for cookies and cake mix for Tekla's birthday. We got the kids to bed about 9:30. I stayed up working on the server for hours, going to bed at about 1:30 a.m. We all overslept in the morning, but not much. The problem was that Luke couldn't wake up. He just couldn't function. I had enough at about 7:30, and most likely because I was so tired, I stopped in the living room with each child about 10 to 12 feet away. I saw that they were both looking at me, Tekla at my 3 o'clock, Luke at my 12 o'clock, but they could not see each other. I took a deep breath and used all the power in my voice could bring, and I screamed, "Let's go!" When I looked and I saw no motion from either child, I did it again. This time they reacted. Both kids burst into tears. Because they were in different rooms, I could only go to one. I went to Tekla and I invited Luke to come too. It took another 10 minutes to calm them down, so the plan backfired, and I knew it right away. I finally got Luke to school at about 8:10. On Tuesday, yesterday, on the way home from taking Luke to school, I stopped at the new house and picked up about 10 of the brochures. At home, I made Anna follow me through the house as I taped them to the walls. I asked her to date them all 2/14/10. That's 2 months away. The goal is to buy the place in 2 months. Anna followed, but with reluctance. All she could say was, "You're crazy." I've been praying for a miracle, but the more I pray, the more it seems impossible. My server now looks like I'll have to reinstall the whole thing. I'm so tired of this. Now it's bedtime for the kids, and after I tuck them in, I'll be back to work looking for a magic bullet that will get me enough money for Christmas and this trip to Italy. December 19th, 2009, Saturday night. Thursday the 17th, 2 days ago, I took Anna and Tekla to Dr. Kayvon in Red Wing, and it sort of worked. Anna's in constant pain, as am I, but she wears it on her sleeve. She sits on the couch, bent and twisted, for 6 or 7 hours, working on her computer, then complains when her back hurts. I just don't get it. I also don't get why she needs to spend 6 hours on a computer to book our flights. I get that she has to follow the standby rules, but after 3 days of nothing but looking at the PC, she still didn't know when we were going. Last night, after kids went to bed, I sat with her and we had our names on available seats from here to Rome, from Rome to Verona, and Rome to Verona was still in question, but it looks like we'll take the train. The point is, with my help, we booked it with space available seats in one sitting. Friday, it was almost all day at Shriners Hospital. Tekla got to see the orthopedic surgeon, neurology surgeon, and specialist physical and occupational therapists, and several nurses. There were 7 more x-rays taken, and it was all free. To the best hospital experience of my life without exception. They will custom make orthotics for her feet, and they ordered an MRI, all free. And at every turn, people came out of nowhere to play with Tekla, to give her more toys. We carried home 2 large bags of toys. The result of our trip into this hospital were nothing new. She has flat feet. So the orthotics come and we get her some shoes. Of course, these may be more after the MRI. Anna's temper has been quite difficult. Last night, at the kids' bedtime, Luke was kicking the contents of his backpack on the bottom step. He stepped on a water bottle, bursting its cap and making many things wet. It was just water. But Anna started screaming at him. Tekla was nearby crying as she watched. Luke was in tears as well. I interrupted, and I asked why she wanted to start a fight with Luke at bedtime, which she does nearly every night. When she started yelling at me because I don't support her as a mother, she hid from us until everyone was asleep. When I came downstairs, I pretending nothing had happened. But she made sure I knew she was still angry. I blew it off and helped her find the tickets. When she went to bed, I listed my truck for sale on Craigslist. I had 6 calls before karate this morning. I sold it at noon for $1,400. Then we loaded everyone in Anna's car and went to see a chiropractor in the neighborhood. Anna loved what he did, and she was happy all the way to the car. As soon as we were in the car, she was complaining. She started yelling at Luke because her dash lights were turned down so nothing could be seen. She thought Luke had broken the lights. When I turned them on, she wanted to be mad again, but I stopped her. December 24th, 2009, Thursday, Christmas Eve, 6:30 a.m. local time. The mood swings are gone now. We have arrived in Italy at Anna's parents' house. To get here, we went home from the chiropractor after stopping to fill the gas tank and eat at Subway, where Anna so disagreed with everything Luke did or wanted that he chose to sit at a different table, which she did allow. Back home, we started cleaning the house when the neighbors came over with Christmas wine and cheer. Their kids played with Luke and Tekla while we sat and enjoyed the chocolate bread they made, and I made coffee. I also managed to purchase a Wii system for Luke over the phone. When they left, we finished cleaning, ate the small dinner, and drove to the airport so Anna could print our tickets. She was not able to print them, but we did stop at the post office to mail cash to Teresa E., who would pay for the Wii. We then went home and kids to bed. Anna and I stayed up and packed and did laundry. At 12:30 a.m., she went to bed. I showered. At 6:30 a.m., we got up to dress for the trip. We all went almost like clockwork. Got to the plane. She and Luke got window seats on one side, me and Tekla on the other. Two young women sitting in front of us started to complain to the flight attendant. After listening a bit, I diffused it by calling their attention to some de-icing process, then getting them to talk about themselves. Turns out they were wardrobe designers, and I told them about my movie. It was during this flight I noticed my face was feeling extremely dry. In New York, Anna thought we would be stuck when the gate agent came to me while Anna was outside with the dog. She told me of another extra flight at a different gate. We went there, and Anna met us there. We were assigned seats, and off we went. I was given a first-class seat. Anna took the kids and the dog to coach. While waiting for the flight, I met Joe P., who is a working director. His wife, a set designer, he from New York, she from Rome. I gave him a copy of the script on a thumb drive because he said he would direct it free. After the plane, Anna was tired and cranky. I didn't sleep much, maybe 2 hours. We took the train to the Termini in Rome. There, Tekla showed that she was just too tired and I had to carry her. The signs at the Termini put the next train first at bin 1, then at bin 19, then back to 7. We walked back and forth to 7, me carrying Tekla all the way, Luke being a perfect traveling companion. Once on the train, Luke watched a movie on my computer. Me and Tekla slept as we could. We got off in Bologna, and were met by Tommaso, walked 2 blocks, and rode in the car. Tekla and Luke slept. I was in and out. Anna and Tommaso spoke constantly in Italian. Anna's parents' new house is very bright and comfortable. There is some snow here, but very mild temperatures. Yesterday, the 23rd, we took Tekla to a pediatrician who said she had bronchitis. She wrote a script. While inside with Tekla and Anna, me and Luke went outside to play in the snow. Tommaso made a movie of us. We did have some fun. Oh, on Saturday night, after the airport and post office, we stopped at Walmart for socks and a sewing kit, where I also bought a bike for Tekla, a hungry hippo for Luke. Now, when we get home, they will both have a big Christmas. If I can find a local church, this will be perfect. I wrote a letter to Luke and Tekla from Santa. I'm sure they will get toys here, but we want them to expect more at home. Yesterday, I determined that my face was not only dry, but must be frostbitten as well. The symptoms are the same as a very severe sunburn. And it was on the flight here that I looked in the mirror in the plane's bathroom, and I was shocked because I didn't know the man looking back at me. The face was more round than mine and far darker complexion, almost rust color. The only part that looked right was the right color was the bags under my eyes, which clearly showed how tired I was. It was on the plane, sitting alone in first class, when I started to wonder if I should let Anna go. Maybe she'll just choose to stay here in Italy with the dog and we'll go back home. Maybe I could draft her divorce papers so she can rent the apartment a block from our house. Maybe. These thoughts were the plants that grew from the seeds of the question, why am I suffering from these intense headaches for so long? My headaches lasted from this 2-day migraine 2 weeks ago until our neighbors came over the day before we left. What could be the cause? I can only see the answer, the unnecessary stress that comes from Anna. Also worth noting here, it was on the flight from Minneapolis to JFK when I got my business cards from the overhead bin. I noticed I had nervous perspiration, first time in years. This, too, I believe, is a result of all the stress that comes from living with Anna. I spoke, not too seriously, of living here in Italy. I have spoken very seriously about this since I met Anna. This time I hear Anna say, after 10 years, he finally understands that I don't wish to live in America. I still have not met Amanda or Diego, Manolo's family, but I have invited them to come to our house in America. Of course, I invited them knowing they would never come. This morning, Tekla woke up coughing at about 4. I got up to be with her and feed her and sit with her. Anna got up too, but after a bit, Anna went back to bed. 30 minutes later, Tekla was sitting on my lap, and she wanted to lay down with Mama. This gave me my first chance to write since we got here. Now it's 7:15, and I think I'll go lay down too. December 28th, 2009, Monday, 5:30 a.m. I might be wrong about the date, but not the day. On Christmas Eve, I woke near 2 p.m. It was a typical day for my wife and me, a typical day for my kids visiting Italy. They had not much to do. Luke watched TV, and Tekla did Tekla stuff. We ate mostly through the day, visited off and on by Anna's brother and sister. Luke and Tekla were mad about Manolo. He's such a kid himself. Oh, they are mad about Manolo. The M family eats late, and this was no exception. We finally gathered together at the table at 10 p.m. and started the formal meal. Pasta was actually served third, so Luke had to wait even longer to eat. He wouldn't touch the first or second course. Tekla ate small amounts, but was actually too tired to eat. The four of us were finally looking for bed about 1 a.m. Anna was playing with her kids as usual. That is, she either plays or fights at bedtime, but rarely does anything quiet then. When Luke introduced a new game called The Opposite World, he said the instructions were, everything's the opposite. So in the opposite world, you love Daddy. Out of the mouths of babes. Christmas Day was fun. Santa had come in the night, loading up the tree with presents for Luke and Tekla and Marco, Maria's son. We were awakened by Marco's arrival. It was nearly noon. The kids played with the new toys, many of which will not make the trip home. After asking 4 times, Anna helped me find time and location of the Christmas Mass. I went alone at 5:30. I still don't know the name of the place, but it was very beautiful. Such churches do not exist in America unless they are cathedrals, but this was much smaller, perhaps could only hold 200 people. I stood alone in the back, as alone as I could, surrounded by other standing people. After Mass, I gave myself a guided tour, then went home. The 26th was Saturday. Anna went to visit Manolo with Luke, left me with Tekla and her parents. She said she didn't trust her mother to not give Tekla medicine. Tekla and I ended up taking a nap.